What do you plan on doing with the nearly $400 that you could get in that Facebook settlement? News is that settlement's going to start going out as early as today. So check the mailbox. If you were one of, 1.5 million Illinoisans that filed before, I think it was November of 2021, maybe even before that, where, Facebook was alleged to have violated the state of Illinois' Biometric Information Privacy Act because they were cataloging people's face scans, facial recognition, without their permission, and that violated Illinois law. After a class action suit was put together, they ultimately settled, and that meant that 1.5 million Illinoisans who filed as part of that class action, you're set to get like $397 from Facebook. What are you going to do with that? Nearly $400. I want to hear from you. 217-629-7970. Again, 217-629-7970. That's how you can chime in live and local. Or you can also email me, bishoponair@gmail.com. Again, find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just search Bishop on Air, and we can connect that way. But what do you plan on doing with nearly $400 from Facebook? And 1.5 million Illinoisans going to get that money. It's going to be welcomed, I guess. You got higher gas prices. Hearing the stories about diesel drivers who are, getting goods where they need to go, that's hitting them hard. That's going to increase costs of goods all across the board. So what are you going to do with $400 from Facebook? 217-629-7970. Are you going to maybe, buy some emergency food? Are you going to save it for a down payment on a new car? Are you just going to cut your losses and say, you know what, this is inflation, so this is going to pad me at least a little bit? What do you plan on doing with that extra $400 from Facebook? So you're going to get a Facebook check. $397 could start coming in the mail as early as today over the violations of the Biometric Information Privacy Act. Now, Google, I believe, also is involved with a class action settlement, and apparently Google's going to start notifying people soon as to if they are a potential member of that class, because even Google, with their Google Photos, they were using facial recognition to start cataloging people's photos and whatnot. But that, again, violated Illinois' Biometric Information Privacy Act. So I want to hear from you. What do you plan on doing with that $400 that you're going to get from Facebook? Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Well, I'm probably going to do the same thing I did with my stimulus checks. So when I got my Trump stimulus check, I put it in the stock market. When I got my Joe Biden stimulus check, I bought an AR-15. So I'll probably buy me another weapon with the old Facebook check.
So maybe a shotgun or maybe a pistol,
maybe
or what do you think?
Shotgun.
Yeah.
Maybe a shotgun.
You can find a good shotgun for about $400. I mean, it'll do what you needed to do. Appreciate that. 217-629-7970. What do you plan on doing with your nearly $400 from Facebook? Good morning.
I'm going to use some of that to take some lessons on these new electric surfboards that are coming to the lake, hopefully.
When I heard that at the city council, and I got to get a hold of the guy who's putting that together, but that sounds like an awesome deal. I've seen the videos and whatnot. You got to have some core strength to be able to stand on that thing. But yeah, you're going to use that to pay for lessons to be able to get on one of those things.
Learn how to ride them. Sounds fun.
Right on. I appreciate that. 217-629-7970. Those are expensive lessons, though. If they cost $400, surely it's not that much. What do you plan on doing with your Facebook $400? Good morning.
I was going to try leaving the political stuff out, but since the other guy did, I'll put it.
What did he say that was political? I mean, he got a stimulus from Trump. He got a stimulus from Biden. What was political about that?
Whatever. Basically, I'm going to go ahead and use more of it to cover the Trump gas raise from when he decided that it was a good thing to interfere with the free market and negotiated with Mexico, Saudi, and Russia to produce 10 million less barrels of oil a day, which they've decided that they make enough money by not producing oil now. since it's so high. So we have higher gas prices because they basically helped fix the oil prices.
Gotcha. So you didn't want to go political, but you got political. So ultimately, you're gonna use the Facebook 400 to offset the cost of inflation.
Cover my oil. Cover my gas.
I gotcha. All right. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Good morning. What are you going to do with your Facebook 400?
I'm going to take the $397 and I'm going to donate it to President Trump's 2024 campaign.
All right. That's one use of the money, I guess. Appreciate that. 217-629-7970. What are you going to do with your Facebook 400? Good morning.
I'm going to take that money and find out where that dude lives and put a big wham wham crybaby sign right outside his sidewalk.
Oh, stop it. No, don't dox anybody, even with a sign like that. All right, so Facebook's going to be sending out $400 check, $397. And the reports were it could start going out as early as today. So if anybody gets their check, email me, let me know you got it. We may have to revisit this conversation in the future. But also, you've got Google that could be having to pay out in the class action settlement as well. But I did want to touch on just a few other social media things, in particular, Twitter. And Elon Musk, he apparently has he's put the word out that work ethic expectations at Twitter would be extreme, he says, but much less than what I demand of myself. And that's got some people at Twitter that currently work there kind of freaking out a little bit. So maybe they don't do enough work at Twitter as is. Maybe the work they do is them hanging out at their, coffee house or whatever they've got inside of Twitter and not actually doing real work, but just kind of talking about, the latest politics and who they should shadow ban and who they should block and whatnot. So Elon Musk, getting ready to take over Twitter, says that the work ethic expectations are going to be extreme, but no less than what he demands of himself. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Hey, this is a quick FYI, not a smart remark or anything. On the Facebook thing, in any of these other class action things, if you don't respond, you don't necessarily get the check. So if you got something, go ahead and respond. If you didn't respond on the Facebook thing, everybody else who did gets a little bit more, and you get nothing.
Well, when you don't get nothing, you could still go after Facebook. And the law actually says violations mean $1,000 per person, but you would have to then get an attorney and you'd have to go through the rigmarole. People who joined the class action suit, and I'm sure it's going to be the same with Google, if you join the class action suit, you're essentially giving up your rights to sue in the future. I appreciate that. 217-629-7970. Good morning. Last call. What are you going to do with your Facebook 400?
I need to speak to someone about the channel.
Okay. I tell you, you need to call the front desk, and you can make that happen. I appreciate it. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Coming back, we got more to talk